Shalom Yasharallah. First and foremost, I'd like to give all glory, honor, and infinite praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachach. Double honors to the beloved elders and the apostles at Great Millstone that taught me this truth, and peace and salutations to all you hopeful Lektakim out there laboring that are pushing this word in truth and in sincerity. This is your brother Amar from the GMS Boise, Idaho camp, and I wanted to make this lesson, Salakia, based on the events that happened over this weekend. There was rumors throughout the week that there was going to be some big protests and stuff like that going against DJ Trump, his policies, and Elon Musk being in the so-called power seat that he's in, being the new government position of assisted president, which caused a lot of people to get upset, which is just another, reason to be against the government that is contrary to the party that they voted for. So if they're a Democrat and a Republican's in office, this is what you see. Just like in 2016 when Trump took office and you had a lot of riots in Portland and all over the place during his election and inauguration. It was wild. I know because I was living in downtown Portland and was there at the time. I saw him, man. I was in the midst of it. So again, what you're seeing right now is sedition among men, which, hey man, Second Esdras, the 15th chapter, is definitely no a light chapter and something that you can't look over that's in the scriptures. A time like no other, and a time that people are going to be so fed up with the governments around them, so fed up with promises that are never met, so fed up with them working harder and harder every year, but their money being devalued, their money being not given back to them. The gap between the top 1% elite, that's in the whole country, based on the whole medium wage income family, they own more wealth than the middle class. So a lot of people are upset because they're seeing that they're working just as hard, bills are going up, but they're not getting paid anymore. All types of things have been happening with people losing their jobs from the federal government and working for the government, because a lot of people work for the government, believe it or not, if not directly, indirectly. I know even construction workers, they do a lot of work for government, and government doesn't have their own construction companies, but they have to hire contractors to do their work. So in a way, that money comes from the government itself. So a lot is affected by these different tariffs and these different, I guess you could say, slashing of certain departments that this Doge cat has been doing, man. But again, man, this is the fact that this Doge is cutting all these things, Elon Musk and his peoples, and it's causing, again, the average everyday middle class Edomite to be affected. It's affecting the white man now. So now it's a problem. Now it's getting, the momentum, that they want. But what you're seeing right now, and the point that I wanted to bring to this lesson, is the fact that sedition is happening, and it's happening at a more of a common and a higher rate, based on everything that has been going on. Salakia, I just had my laptop holder on the floor. Fix that. Salakia, Yashra Allah. But I wanted to look up this word sedition. That's the scripture I want to bring, but I wanted to bring I don't know. Let's have it to put KJV. Sedition. This is the Oxford definition for sedition. This is the conduct or speech inciting people to rebel against the authority of a state or monarch. So the authority of the state in this sense would be, the presidency and the Trump administration. What is sedition? AI overview. Trying to get the AI overview for it, but it's not popping up. Okay, well, the point is that it is causing sedition, which is a major thing. Look, sedition, it says violent strife right there. And so we can go to the scriptures where that word sedition comes into play, but I want to build it up just a little bit. I'm going to start at the 11th verse. This is 2 Esdras 15 and 11. But I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. So the Lord is going to make a process of tribulations come on Babylon the Great in waves. There's going to be wars, there's going to be famines, there's going to be pestilences, there's going to be sedition, there's going to be marauders, there's going to be civil war, race wars, water wars, food wars. There's going to be people, this city against that city. Not to mention the different apparitions that are going to be messing with people in their minds. The fact that there's going to be no sanitary services. So people are going to know how to take care of themselves because they've been completely dependent on Esau, Edom, and his system that he's built up around them in this American dream. So they're completely dependent on the system being food for in their grocery stores, water when they go to their sink, and all they got to do is clock in and out, and they don't think anything much more than that. But that's why this society constantly keeps you so busy and keeps you just barely enough to maintain, but never enough to get ahead, so that you're constantly working and a part of this, man. So that's why there's so many traps out there, whether it be whether you get pulled over and then you got to pay a ticket, whether your car breaks down and you got to pay a big bill to the mechanic, somebody gets sick in your family or something, something. There's always something, man. And Jake can never get ahead. But again, that's all part of the plagues that, we've been dealing with, but it's going to be on all of Egypt. It's going to be on Esau, Edom, all the heathen. I mean, at the end of the day, everyone's going to be catching hell. But the point is that, hey, man, the Lord is going to make a difference between the elect and these other Egyptians, these heathens that are going to be catching hell in these days. This is verse 12. Egypt shall mourn. There you go. And the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that the Most High shall bring upon it. So, hey, man, we know how ancient Egypt got taken down and humbled, and how the Israelites were able to walk out of their captivity. But hey, man, they were not walking out of this, and not all of Israel is getting saved in this last days. Only the elect and that small remnant, the 1/3, is going to be getting saved out of Babylon the Great. This is 13. They that till the ground shall mourn, for their seed shall fail through the blasting and hail, and with a fearful constellation. A constellation is what you see like in the sky. You see the different, like the Big Dipper, the Little Dipper, Orion's belt, different astrological patterns. And you can see, I can see Orion's belt at northwest. So I know it's springtime. But when you see this constellation, this fearful constellation, and I just use that as an example for people seeing the signs of how bad it's going to get, man. Because they're going to see, hey, man, my seed fail. In this sense, if a farmer puts out his seed in a field and all his seed's dead, he knows that he's going to have nothing coming in the winter. He doesn't know what he's going to do because he doesn't have any money to buy more seed to be able to replace it, the labor, all things. So, man, having your seed fail and you're a farmer, that's like life and death. That's like, you might as well kill me now because I know I can't provide food for my family. I can't bring in income. I'm not going to have anything to do. I'm going to lose everything type thing. So that's why it's a fearful constellation when you be like, oh shit, all my seed is dead. Because it says, what did it say? Through the blasting and hail. Because you can plant your seed, let's say in March, right? And it barely, and the weather's been really good, and it started being a little sprout above the ground that's maybe an inch, 2 inches long or tall. But then out of nowhere, a late April hailstorm came, because out of nowhere the temperatures dropped that week, and it laid your whole field flat. You're looking at it at the edge of your field and you're like, oh my gosh, man, I am fucked. That's what these people are going to see when they start connecting the dots that Babylon the Great is done. And everything that they worked so hard for, all this fucking bullshit that they're occupying their time with, what other than Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, man, it's all going to come down to them. And they're going to realize that, hey, man, you might as well stick your head, put it right between your legs, and kiss your ass goodbye, because they know they're going to be through, man. And that's why, again, at the end of the day, we are all in the predicament in the sense that we can't save ourselves, but Yahweh Shai has done all in a sense, all the suffering that needs to be done for the elect to be saved, because he's already sealed the elect when he, with the foundation of the earth, first and foremost, but for all of Israel to come back when he put himself on the cross, man. So that is not a sacrifice that has been taken lightly. That is more than enough to cover the sins of all Israel, but the remnant is only going to return in this day and age. The rest of Israel will get mercy when they come back saying "Gu Gu Gaga Ama Mama Abba" in the kingdom. Being reincarnated as a little baby through the loins of the elect. So again, man, this is 2nd Ezra 15 and 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. That's destruction. Woe means destruction. Verse 15, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. And the sword is a modern day killing instrument, whatever form it may be, even if it comes in the form of a syringe, saying this is medicine. It is still a sword. And one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands, because eventually it's going to get violent. It's going to get very violent in Babylon the Great, like Elder Apostle Tahar has been prophesying for years now, man. And Babylon the Great's going to be that Mad Max scene on steroids. This is verse 16. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. So again, man, people are going to get fed up to the point where they know that they can't depend, trust, or go to the government for anything. So ultimately, they're going to go back to that old American, lone wolf. I don't want the government to tell me anything. I'm a natural born American, and no government's going to tell me what to do type mentality. And they're just going to get active, man. They're going to get activated, and it's going to get real bloody out here. And all that gun range time that these Edomites have been taking their time and buying boxes of bullets, man, I've seen it. Man, they're all going to use it on each other and the 2/3. But continuing, verse 17, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. Again, man, these scriptures you should been known already. But the point is that there's going to be a cutoff of free movement. There's going to be exclusion zones. There's going to be checkpoints. There's going to be all types of things stopping you from getting to point A to point B as easily as you are right now today in this society. In the sense that, the clocks are still turning, the lights are still on, the water's still running, people are still going to work. Man, this is going to be like a time like no other. Verse 18, for because of their pride, the cities shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. And if these men, how much more the women, children, elderly, people that have ailments. Verse 19, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor. It's going to get so bad that people are going to, be like, if you've seen these movies like The Road, Black Summer, The Walking Dead, the list goes on and on, man. Mad Max. I'm trying to think of another one. There's a lot of them, man. The post-apocalyptic survival movies. Everyone's out for themselves pretty much. And this is the perfect scripture that describes it. And I'm going to end the lesson on this. This is 2nd Ezra 15 and 19. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods. Why? Because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. So, hey, man, that neighbor that you let borrow your jack because he needed to do an oil change or whatever it may be, the neighbor that came by and said, hey, man, we're going to have a cookout. You want to come over? Yeah, oh, yeah, let me show you this, and that. Look what I got in my garage, man. We're ready if there's another pandemic. You're showing your shit off you got in your garage or whatever. Hey, man, when that neighbor gets desperate, he's gonna come knocking, man. And, that's what I was thinking, the movie Homestead. I went and saw that movie on theaters, man. They had to turn these whole people away, because they people were going through houses with ARs just plucking away at people, taking what they got. And that's what we're coming into. But it's a process, and it's going to come in waves, and it's going to get worse and worse and worse. So again, man, this is why you need to take heed to this message now. Repent, come back to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, and do everything that you can, to make your calling and election sure. This is a marathon, not a sprint. You know, and if you know brothers that are in your area, go check in, man, because you have to go and learn the right doctrine while you can. Don't think that you can do this thing on your own. You know, you need a brotherhood, and that's why we're a body. So again, man, get around like-minded brothers, you know, that have the same goals, which would be the brothers and the elders and apostles at Great Millstone, you know, and learn from them. And you don't have to be right next to them. You got to search them out and go actually see them in person. You can be right next to them by watching their videos, doing the lessons, doing the work, doing any type of requirement or assignment that you hear the brothers recommend you do. Like go watch this movie, go watch this TV show, go look up this word, go look up this little 15-minute documentary. That's little things that you can do, because brothers aren't telling you those things just to talk out their ass, man. It's so you can get the gold nugget, eat the meat and spit out the bones. So when you hear brothers, you know, mention a movie, mention something, man, it's nice to go and, you know, get it, in the sense that that's how I've been put on a lot of game, because I've learned a lot of things looking at them from a different point of view when brothers have recommended them. So, hey, man, you know, Lord willing, that this lesson was edifying, because, hey, man, we don't got a lot of time left, and keep thinking you got time, because you don't. So, Lord willing, that this lesson was edifying unto the elect. Till next time, I would like to give all glory, honor, and infinite praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kodash, and double honors to beloved elders and the apostles at Great Millstone that taught me this truth. And peace and salutations to all you hopeful elect Akim out there laboring, that are pushing this word in truth and in sincerity. Until next time, Lord willing.